Hello and welcome, my reoccurring nightmares of your teeth falling out. It's SJB here, and we've got 5 of the most expensive towers in the entire game. We're going to talk about those in just a second, but before we get there, I'm going to send out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5,000 invisibility balloons right now. And then on top of that, what I want to do is I want to actually delete the pop count. So we're going to start off with 0 pops right now for every single one of my towers. It's going to be a good test to examine how good these towers actually are. But we got to talk about them really quickly. We've got the True Sun, got about $500,000 for the last upgrade. We've got the Legend of the Night at about $250,000 for the last upgrade. We've got the Super Mines at about $135K for the last upgrade. And then these two get a little bit weird. We've got Anti-Balloon at about $100K for the last upgrade. And then we've got Flying Fortress at about $80K for the last upgrade. But there are actually a couple other towers in this game that might be more expensive. First of all, we've got the Banana Central at 100K for the last upgrade. We got Monkey Nomus at 100K for the last upgrade. But both of those towers are money makers. They're not going to be actually popping any balloons, so they might not be a good comparison purpose. In addition to that, there is a secret tower that could, technically, maybe, be more expensive than these other towers. It will increase the cost $5,000 for every single banana farm that is in its range. And you can also do weird things like increase its range with an overclock to make its range even larger and eventually fit up to 15, maybe even 20, maybe even more than that banana farms in a single upgrade. So technically this could be more expensive than both Flying Fortress, Anti-Balloon, and even Getting Wild, and being even more expensive than the banana farms themselves. But unlikely to be more expensive than Super Mines, and unlikely to be more expensive than Legend of the Night, unless you're actually hacking or cheating or using exploits, which should not be part of the game. That being said, we've got these 5 towers. They've been attacking for a while. Let's delete all these balloons and look at their total. Oh, I just deleted the pop count. Okay, I'm gonna let it run for a minute. Alrighty, so after several minutes of popping balloons, let's look at this total pop count. We've got 22 mil for the True Sun God. We've got 3.5 million for the Legend of the Night. Interesting. The Anti-Balloon, oh, less than a million, bro. What the heck's going on? And then Flying Fortress, 1.6 million. I didn't show this guy for a reason. And that's because I know for a fact, whenever you're testing this guy out, he gets such weird pop counts. Is he truly that powerful to get a whopping 29 million, more than the True Sun God, more than the Legend of the Night, more than this guy, and more than this guy all combined? Is the Super Mines truly the best tower in all of BTD6 forever and ever and ever? Well, I mean, we should mention that these guys are getting powered up by the True Sun God, so, like, that could affect them a little bit, but besides that, I mean, frickin' Super Mines is just a good frickin' tower for the price. So, interestingly enough, we're going to run an experiment. We're going to test out every single tower with a couple things going for it. First of all, we're going to perma-brew him. Okay, every single time, that will be a part of the game, because if you're going late game, you're going to perma-brew your towers. It's just a fact of life. If you're not doing this, you're just a complete idiot. Second of all, we are not going to be overclocking to 10 times, not because I don't think it's actually worth it. In most games, you would be doing that, but not every tower is going to reach that 10 times overclock in the late game, and I don't want to fudge the numbers at all. So we're going to leave it blank, but we are going to make sure that it has camo detection and juggler drums, because every single tower at this point is going to just have that, or does not have a total weakness to that tower. And then we're going to let them run. We're going to start around 120, and we're just going to keep on going and see how far these guys can make it as a totality of themselves. Now, this does not exactly mean that they are good or bad if they lose, but it can give us a good judgment call on whether or not we should be going for these guys in the late game, based on how good they do against real, actual balloons. Unfortunately, around 121, oh no. He's already going to die? The Anti-Balloon, he only made it 1 round. Well, he was the least popper for us, so that makes sense, actually, that he would not get that far. But how would the Flying Fortress do? He had about double the total pops that the Anti-Balloon had, so we're expecting him to be kind of great, right? Well, everybody knows that this guy is one of the best boss balloon towers and just late game towers in general, and he gets really easily and awesomely buffed by the perma-brew. So I'm expecting, I'm not going to say greatness here, but I'm expecting at least a few more rounds beaten out of this one. Let's see how deep this Saxonus Prime can go. And the Monkey Ace, DDTs look like it is its weakness. They are going to just walk right through this defense, almost no issues at all. DDTs destroy this Monkey Ace, but that doesn't mean he's a bad tower. It just means that, you know, he was not able to do around 128. He's still got a 4 million pop total pop count and 7 more rounds than Anti-Balloon. And then there were only 3 left. Now, the reason why I did it in this general way is because I wanted to see, is this going to line up with the total pop count? Is that pop count of the random invisible balloons going to line up with the actual amount of pops we're going to have in this real-life game? And based on what we've seen so far, it's making a lot of sense. The Anti-Balloon was the worst, and he still did not do very good in the regular game. The Monkey Ace was significantly better, 7 rounds more, and don't forget that every single round at this point in the late game is going to get exponentially more difficult as time goes on. So we're not just dealing with a few more rounds. Those few rounds are big deals here. And now we move on to, believe it or not, the Legend of the Night. And this guy so far doing an absolute fantastic job letting almost nothing sneak through. Also, I should mention that even though I have the ability to micro and manage and do all this stuff, I'm just going to throw them down in the middle of the map and let them do their thing and just see where we can get to. We're still going pretty strong here, past round 132. So clearly, easily better than the Monkey Ace, Legend of the Night. Quite the unbelievable team here. I should also mention that he has one trick up his sleeve. He has the ability that if a balloon does magically sneak through, he can end up saying, no, I will not let them sneak through, and he can end up making a quick warp portal near the end of the map that doesn't make it so the balloons get popped, but just warp out of existence and don't end up staking through your defense. So you don't lose any lives, but you also don't gain any money or anything else from them. They just literally disappear, which is a very interesting concept. Dang, DDT destruction around 138, easy peasy. Moving on around 139, and look at these mobs just get melted still. This late in the game, man, this guy is a beast. 13+ million pops at this point, and I still do not feel like he is going to die. But around 140 is completely different. It is not like the other rounds, and it is a deadly round in free play in a lot of situations. We've got not a single reinforced bad, but a double dose of reinforced bads. And if you don't have that direct, not just total pierce, but that damage necessary to kill the bad layer, you just automatically lose. And not just one of them, but again, 2 of them. And it looks like it's going to be tight, but Legend of the Night cannot even pop the first one. And that means he will not be able to pop the second one either, and he's going to easily get taken down here. Or will he? Because he's got the warp portal! There it is. He's going to warp the first one of existence, but the second one is not going to be reinforced. It's going to be a really, really close battle here. But around 140, maybe if we move the Legend of the Night and use his abilities. I don't know, should I? I said I wasn't going to. Maybe I should. It's so close! And I realized if I just micro, I can actually make this a really easy win. So I'm just going to do the micro. I'm going to let the first one go through like that. I'm going to leave him on first, and we will take down around 140 here without many issues at all. I can also warp these guys if I want to, so I feel like I should just use it if I have the advantage, if I have the ability to do that. So we're going to warp this guy. We don't even need to warp him. Oh my god, round 140 is down as well! How much further can we go? Now it should be noted that after round 140, you start to see bad balloons pop out all the time. Somewhat randomly. Sometimes there can be 1, sometimes 2, sometimes 3. And obviously, with a single bad balloon getting this far, we are not going to survive. Oh, there it goes! Oh, crap. All right, I am going to move my my Legend of the Night. I'm going to move him back here. I think that we're losing based on a fluke. And even though this is a really rare circumstance, because this is the only tower that can actually do that, I still think we should use the most ideal location if possible. So I'm going to throw him down here and let him go to town and see if we can still make this round get beaten. Still going to be close, but... Oh, I think they're going to sneak through. The ceramics, man. Can we get overwhelmed? Oh, okay, we're going to let it be. Around 141. We did good. We couldn't take it down forever. Next up, we got Super Mines. Now, Super Mines is interesting because the way that it works is it's going to be sort of a cleanup tower. Kind of. I mean, it's like the way that all other spike factories work in the fact that you want to put them closer to the back of the map. Kind of. Usually. In most situations, it gets really, really, really goofy. But either which way, we're going to leave him closer to the back of the map. I'm still going to purple brew him, still going to get a village on him, even though we don't really need any of that stuff. And we're just going to go and see what happens. This could just end up being a one-round done-so thing, or he could actually go all the way, beating around 140, maybe even beating around 150. We have to wait and see what happens here. We got the DDT round coming in. It does not seem to matter, though. The explosions are just doing so much damage that they get melted anyways. So I just want to mention really quickly that this is actually our highest popper, and I'm going to run him 4th because I'm expecting the Temple just to magically somehow be better than the Super Mines. This guy should not be as good as he is right now, but he just is anyway somehow, and it's kind of blowing my mind a little bit. I was expecting to lose a lot quicker, and he is still going quite strong. It's such a weird tower, but it just works sometimes. Oh, snap. It's getting tight again. More DDTs. Down to our last spike near the back of the map here. Oh, but we're still hanging on. The explosions are big enough to damage the ones near the front, slowly burning them to a crisp. And we have made it to around 139 again. But don't forget, we've got the reinforced bads coming out. Now, I should also mention that I've let this guy on normal targeting for now. I did not end up doing any of the weird cross paths. I just went for the even fast reduction, which I thought would be a more effective cross path to go for in this situation. Though it's a possibility that just getting the full burst of spikes right away might have allowed us to survive in some weird situations. But either way, we're going pretty strong here at around 140. We've got to take down this full reinforced bad, though, otherwise we do lose. We don't have the ability to just insta-kill it like we did with the Super Monkey. We're warp it out of existence. This is going to be close, though. It's going to be very close. We're down to our last few spikes here. And it looks like the reinforced bad is gonna make it through. Dang. It was a good run, but around 140 is gonna be our death. Next up, we have the True Sun God. And to get a True Sun God, you need to know how to build a True Sun God. You need to sacrifice up to $350,000 worth of towers. So here's what you want to build. 50k worth of primary monkeys. Moab ends up being just enough here. 50k worth of wrong monkey, 50k worth of Wizard Lord Phoenix, 50k worth of Blue Incineration, and then when you're ready, you can hit boom, 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 and Sun Temple. This is going to be 50k worth of primary, military, and magic. If you want, you can stride out 50k worth of support for any of those towers. It needs to be just 3 out of the 4 types, but that will affect your second temple, your actual true Sun God. After that, do the exact same thing, but this time with a support monkey involved. So you're going to get all 4 of those towers again. You're going to go for another Moab Dom. You're going to go for another extra large trap. You're going to go for another Wizard Lord Phoenix and a Blue Incineration. And that's 50k with all 4 types of towers at that point. And when you're ready, hit True Sun God. Or if you really want to get a Vengeful Temple, then you want to build the other 5th tier Super Monkeys as well, not in range. Unfortunately, I'm the challenge editor right now, so this will not actually make a true Vengeful Sun God. But if you're in a real game, it would. So just keep that in mind. And then when you're ready, you can get the true max Sun God. So we're going to end up going with a Permarood, upgraded Villagified Temple here. Boom, 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 boom. And we're just going to go to town and see how far this temple can make it by himself. As far as cross path go, you could go either which way. I think, though, for my purposes, I want to go for the super range and the epic range because I think the thing that's going to kill us, or most likely kill us, is still going to be those bad balloons, right? Now, as far as positioning goes, I think this is going to be pretty solid because we shoot on a straight line most of the time here, and we still have the straight line down here, and we can still kind of shoot straight-ish line down here, which is good enough for me because this is a huge, huge beam of destruction right here. And as you can tell so far, it's going very, very smooth. We're on 130, we're still going strong, no issues whatsoever, no direct weaknesses, though DDTs were getting a little bit further just because they're kind of quick compared to the other balloons here. But as far as overall Pierce and everything goes, still not a big deal at all for these big balloons. Uh-oh, around 140. Can we handle it? True Sun God trying to beat this puppy down. And it looks like, oh my god, I hate when we beat puppies. This is terrible. I'm sorry. We did it though. Round 140 is going to be completed, and that means True Sun God, if it can beat round 141, is most definitely the best tower in BTD6. There is no arguments about it. Unless you start talking about Paragons. Now, we aren't going to delve into that in this video, but I do want to talk about that in a future video. Which is the best Paragon to go for? Which Paragons should you be going for if you just want to build a tower that just does a lot of stuff? I also want to talk about Paragon combos, which is, I think, a really interesting concept as well, because sometimes Paragons have weaknesses. That just means they can't pop DDTs, or they can't pop bad, they can't pop something, and having that weakness kind of obliterated is just a really interesting concept. So yeah, True Sun God, of course, he's the most expensive tower. He should be the best tower. He should be the best tower by a long shot, and so far, he definitely is. But let's see how far we can make it here. Woo! Run 150, still going strong at 9 rounds past the next best tower. Clearly, he's still one of the best towers in the entire game here. Oh my goodness gracious, he deserves it. He's the temple, right? Well, let's keep it pushing. How much further can we go? Here we go, around 156. We've got a bad and a bunch of his oh my gods, but DDTs all mixed in. A very difficult run for us. And another bad balloon coming out with the perfect spacing on it. That's not good. We got oh my gods getting to the very back already, and we've got to try to micro this thing, otherwise it's just not going to work. I got him on strong right now. I'm going to put it on last for 1 second. Try to move him back to first here before it gets through. And can we clean up this last bit of bad action? We got 2 of them combined together here. And they're gonna sneak through anyways. Round 156. 15 rounds better than any other tower. The True Sun God is the best tower in the entire game. But if you learned anything in this video, make sure you press that like button. Make sure you subscribe. And code me up, bro. Code me up.